All right, we're here at episode 22 of season 2 of Vinland Saga.
You better not start.
Well, here's what it is.
You better not.
I know. He gave me 2 text messages that kind of give me a hint of what I was walking into.
I dared him to talk
But
shit today.
my only concern is the message that Thorfinn was spouting about
When?
at the end.
He gave a couple monologues this episode.
He did, but let's just lump them all together.
Him and Canute?
Let's just lump them all together. All the very small,
continue.
the very small dialogue that was in this episode, besides that ass whipping that he was getting. But anyway, I don't want to take away from that because I think it was good messages that the man was saying. Okay?
Thorfinn and Canute or just Canute? I mean, just Thorfinn.
Both. I think both had valid points in what they were saying, and like they were just coming from 2 different directions. And I truly don't think, no, they're not going to see eye to eye because one has built this and the other has built this. So I don't want to steal from that. The message was great. Now, when I sit down to entertainment, and this is what I'm going into, and this just strengthened...
This being the episode?
Yes.
Okay.
This just strengthened why I believe this season could have been half its length. I don't think the whole, this episode didn't need to exist fully. Watching Thorfinn get punched 100 times and... Oh my God, he's dodging it. So he's just, cool. Okay, great. Don't need that. That was a wasted, probably 10-minute span. Got excited when Snake showed up. Nothing there. And like I said, I'm not stealing from the message because I know you're looking at some higher level being when you watch this and this is Bible, but
4D chess.
I wasn't wowed. The message didn't ring to me because on the other hand, yes, violence isn't how you make peace, but then there are people who will never accept peace, so violence must be had. That kind of situation, I'm more of a believer in that because you're not going to convince everybody to be your side. Now, when Thorfinn said, I have no enemies, cool, he believes that he does not. But just because you don't think you have enemies doesn't mean you don't have enemies because people are...
You're the only person that can make up in your mind whether or not you have enemies or not. It is not anyone else's decision but yours.
So when he gets murdered by somebody, because I assume that will happen, because he's taking this pacifist direction, what then? You still maintain no enemies, but you're a dead man now.
All right.
There we go. I was waiting for this. He's going to... Let's go on now.
Okay. So after last episode, you already know... The pacing was really slow.
Correct.
I thought if any of the episodes could have been cut or at least shortened, it could have been last episode.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
With that being said, though, they knocked this episode so far out the park. I was cheering. I almost cried.
At what points? Please, I need you to detail me
I can go
this.
by scene. The very beginning of the episode where you already said, how in the hell is he going to pull this off? It explains exactly how it is, and it does make sense.
Yeah, unrealistically speaking.
Trained fighters can take punches in a way that
saying
would
that
impact them.
Viking is not a trained fighter or
He
warrior?
is a trained fighter. They acknowledge that, but Thorfinn is another level. There's levels to this. That guy might be on the King's Guard, but Thorfinn could kill all of you without blinking. When he stood up, when Snake distracted him and he lost his concentration, and he actually took a hit like he did against Thorkel, and he stood up, and Snake gave the answer that I'm sure you would give. Hey, man, we would have talked this out if we could have already. They never tried. There was 2 men, Canute, Kettle.
Yep.
They wanted violence. No one else wanted any part of this. And I love that he said if they played Viking chess, let them do
whatever that word was. Is that what that meant?
Yes,
was chess?
It's Viking chess.
Okay.
It's actually a game where you have to play as the king and then you have to try to invade. I actually looked it up, actually.
Yeah, I'd be good with that.
I was fascinated by that.
I thought that was funny because,
And Wolf laughed
ultimately that could have been a deciding factor for it.
So when he stood up and he's telling Snake, you didn't try anything. You went to me monkey, me fight. They want to fight me, I fight them.
No,
that's
someone
how it
is
works.
bringing war and fighters to your land.
How is Thorfinn somehow circumventing all of that? How did he cut so far deep without a weapon so far?
Because he didn't do it first. Now he's doing the cleanup because everything's done. Half the armies are dead.
But I think I said in one of our episodes, one misstep I think Thorfinn made was he didn't try soon enough to go do this conversation with
So he let everybody, now, not saying that he is the actual one doing the violence, but he willingly allowed all these people to die. He was there while it was happening, and he did nothing for it.
The only reason he was still there is because
Arnheid died.
That's right.
So
if
Arnheid lived, Thorfinn would have sacrificed literally everybody on the farm, friends that he could have made, a family that he did care about.
Call those strangers, by the way.
No,
friends we could have made or strangers.
Right, but like these people were just living their lives peacefully.
Yep.
And he didn't back them up and support them. He allowed them to die.
He protected the ones that were close to him.
The old master
until
was there.
The last second that he realized that Arnheid was going to die.
So go on.
So they couldn't. After that point, he said, "Fine, I'm going back and I'm going to try to solve this whole thing."
So in the same breath that he doesn't have enemies, then would everybody be friends or someone that could potentially he cared about?
Someone might not like you. It's up to you whether or not you reciprocate that energy.
And he accepts everyone for their faults and what they are.
I don't think it goes that far. I think he told you in the actual episode. You got to read it. It's the last option. It's on the table. It is there. Right there. Right there at the bottom. Violence. Right there. We go to it and switch this monkey brain on way too quickly when we go into situations.
Do you think that's just because that's the fastest answer?
I think it's because when humans get riled up, we tend to, when we're at our most emotional state, we tend to lack discipline and foresight, and how many times have you had a situation where you got really animated and you got your adrenaline pumping and you made a decision and you were like, yeah, there were definitely other ways to handle that.
Yeah, but did it answer your problem? Did it fix the issue?
Most of the time it doesn't, right? No. The answer is no, it doesn't.
I mean, will Canute get what he wants? Absolutely.
We ended with Thorfinn saying, Canute, please don't take the farm.
Yeah.
And Canute said, stop me.
I got to do it.
Kill me.
No, he needs
or
the
I'm
wealth.
going to
hey.
actually take the
So what's going to happen?
And
Canute's going to take the farm.
That's my biggest question. What the hell happens next episode?
I liked his whole, Canute's whole thing about, he's trying to defy God and be prove that there's another way to do it than ultimately getting to heaven. But it's now does Canute set himself on that godlike level because he's cultivating this, and I believe he does.
Did you see the way he was responding to the way they were?
Like they were peasants.
When he was expressing the fact that the power he has is beyond human understanding, about how much
it's definitely beyond Thorfinn and Eonar's understanding, for sure.
Only by position.
Correct. And experiences.
Actually, no.
Because
Thorfinn's experiences,
neither one of those two have been royalty. None of them have led people. None of them have had that kind of power, so they do not understand.
Thorfinn has led.
He was a brainwashed slave
the entire time he was there.
He was
also
army.
Brainwashed, yeah.
So that wasn't him.
And you were wrong. The dog is still in him. When he stood up and he pointed at Drott, and his eyes went back to the same small pupil size that they were whenever they do that.
They're like, oh, I saw that. Oh, yeah. But
it was.
Okay.
It was.
Yep, convinced me.
Well, how didn't it, though?
Because he did what he did.
But he proved his point.
What point? It proved nothing to Canute.
I was right for the 100th time. I told you doing what he did was going to take the manhood of Drott way more than if he cut every one of his arms and legs off.
No, Drott was good with it. He didn't lose his manhood.
By the end of their confrontation, let's call it.
Right.
He bowed down to Thorfinn. You are a better warrior than me.
I think he just collapsed under exhaustion, not a bow down.
Yeah, no. He
I don't think we saw that.
He collapsed. But when he acknowledged Thorfinn as a real warrior.
Yeah.
Yeah, that took his manhood and did something with it
I don't
that
think
you could never
it's
do.
A warrior's
and
respect.
Thorfinn threw 0 punches.
Yeah. But here's
Imagine
the thing,
how he did that, Ryan.
I would see why didn't at that point, you're getting exhausted, Drott just full mount him and just beat him into the earth. Full mount Thorfinn.
When
they were fighting.
Oh, when he actually got
his taking punches, just full mount, so you can't dodge
Snake
nothing
was already
and beat
there,
the hell out
and
of him.
Snake would have slit his throat.
See, there you go. So Thorfinn's whole action would have been useless without others there.
Actually, the only reason that he was distracted was because of Snake.
Which
Otherwise,
I thought was
he would have taken 100 of them.
I mean, a true warrior wouldn't have been distracted in the heat of the moment, but that's just neither here nor there.
Why do you hate the idea that he's coming with this where violence shouldn't be the answer? Why is it so irritating to you?
I just don't like this show. This show has been 22 episodes that could have been 8 in my eyes.
You're definitely not alone with some people thinking that the episodes either should have been.
Now, is this the greatest thing I've literally ever seen on TV? Absolutely not. Do I think this is the greatest anime to ever be made or ever to be made? Absolutely not.
You've made that abundantly clear.
I hope so, because and I'm not stealing anything away from the messages that was put out there. I'm not stealing away anything else in the
just
show.
not your jam.
But it's that. Then my biggest concern is, where do we go next? Season 3. God, at this point, I hope they don't make it.
Well, it's Vinland Saga, so it's coming.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's Vinland Saga.
And cool, we had one good season that had
we have
some
2
fun.
episodes, and I don't know where it's going.
And
I am
so
extremely
what happens
excited
at this
to know
point if Canute takes them, makes them re-slaves them,
I don't think that'll happen.
and then what? What's he going to do? Jump over them?
No, he respects Thorfinn too much at this point to do anything other than acknowledge him and probably set him on his way. He apologized
But
for
he's
putting
always
this cut on his face.
Oh my God, it's like setting Jesus free.
Because
Because here's the thing, we had to crucify Jesus, since we're in the religious standpoint here, because he was a man of the people. He would listen, pacifist, no violence, preached it.
hey, if you want
We
to
saw
compare
how that
Thorfinn to
ended.
Jesus, I didn't do it. I'll accept it.
We saw how that ended.
Yeah, unironically, I'll accept that. I'll accept that. But yeah, man, everyone's gonna have their jam. You're gonna have your favorite show that you ever watched before. I don't even know if you have one.
I don't think I do.
Yeah.
I treat all shows equally. No, none is better than the other. Some are worse than others for sure. But
Would that?
no. Don't put logic into it now.
Okay. I mean, Vox Machina, maybe.
That was a good show.
I don't know.
But here's the thing.
What does a show have to do to make you
don't
feel like
know.
this is the best thing ever watched? You have to figure that out, because I
Yeah.
feel like until you figure that out, nothing will ever satisfy you.
Well, rest assured,
It
is
ain't
not
Vinland Saga.
I'm
Well,
just.
anytime you're gonna go against like popular opinion, you're gonna get some pushback for that, because
Fine with
people like things and they like defending things they like.
that. And I appreciate
And
that.
I
You know
like
what?
sitting in this chair every fucking week and defending what I love, which is Vinland Saga.
And you do pretty well.
I manage. Just wait for the review. I'm telling you.
I'm ready.
I gotta find somewhere to put my knife or something.
Right here. I have my katana right
Hey,
here.
look, man. I have enemies that day, Flores. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. You can't. If you align with Thorfinn,
Yeah.
violence is not the answer.
Violence is not the answer.
Convince me by the word.
Yeah, No, I'm not going to convince you. But I do think we might actually. This is the show for season 3 of Layman's Review.
This will be the first one we put on a board.
It'll probably tear us apart to make us two lists, because we're going
But
to be
we
so
can't do that.
far
That's not the
apart.
point of this.
But we're going to be so far apart that the list isn't going to be indicative of what we feel.
We'll just put an asterisk next to it.
Ooh, yeah. S tier, God tier.
Oh, I was
You
going to
know.
put it down in the C tier and say asterisk says C Ryan.
I can't take it anymore. We're going to end this here. I don't have any enemies. We'll see you next week for episode 23.